Hi everyone, I'm going to do your sushi tutorial today, and before we start, I'm just going to show you everything that I use to make sushi. So this is my bamboo sushi mat, which I've had for years. It's just a cheap one from the Asian grocery. I've got some sushi rice. This one I just bought at Woolies. It's called Koshi Hikari rice, but it's usually labelled sushi rice. Rice wine vinegar and mirin to make the dressing. But you can also buy, this brand Obento make a pre-made or pre-mixed sushi dressing, which is also fine. And of course your nori sheets. Again, these ones just came from Woolies. It doesn't really matter. And you just need a mixing bowl, a sieve to rinse the rice. So we're going to go and rinse the rice now. Okay, so I have 1 cup of the sushi rice here. This amount of rice will make approximately 3 nori rolls, 3 big ones when you're finished. In my sieve, and I just let the water run. I also give it a bit of a mix and scrunch it up a little bit in my hand, rub it around to try and encourage some of that extra starch to come off. Now, I don't know if you can see, but the water is quite murky at the start from all that starch, and I just keep going until the water is generally pretty clear and there's no more cloudy colour coming off the rice when you cook it. So you've got your rinsed rice and you put that into a pot, and the ratio of rice to water is 1 part rice to 1.5 parts water. So I've got 1 cup of rice. I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water. Okay, so now we're going to bring this over to the stove. Now don't put it on a big burner, because the aim of this is to go kind of slowly, because you don't want the water to evaporate too fast or the rice will not cook through properly. So I've got it on my smallest burner, and I'm going to start it on a high heat. And as soon as the water starts bubbling and boiling, you turn it down to a low heat and let it cook until you can no longer see any water in the pot. Then you turn it off and leave it for about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so the rice has been cooking now for about 15 minutes total. So it took 5 minutes or so to come to the boil, and then I turned it down. It's been going for another 10 minutes, and this is what we're kind of looking for. So the rice has, all the water's gone, and the rice is sort of looks like it's fluffed up a bit. So that's where we want it. I'm going to turn off the heat, leave the lid on, and leave it there for another 10 minutes. Okay, so the rice has been sitting there. It's even more fluffy than it was before. So now we have to put this seasoning on it and cool it down. It goes over the rice. Now, I'm just going to make sure that the seasoning itself is all really well mixed in. You want to be careful that you don't mush the rice too much. Still want to have nice pretty grains of rice. So once the seasoning is all mixed in, all the rice is coated, it goes nice and shiny. Probably can't see that on the camera, but it does go nice and shiny. And once it's like that, I will simply cover it with tea towel, and I'm just going to let it sit there until it's a little bit cooler. Okay, so we have come to the end, and we are going to roll the nori roll. So I've got my nori paper here. If you hear some noises, there's a small person down on the floor. The nori paper has a shiny side and a non-shiny side. I always put the shiny side down, so we're going to put the rice on the non-shiny side. Put a couple of spoons of the rice over the paper. Okay, so I've wet my hands, and I'm just going to push the rice down all over this paper, right up to the edges, just leaving a little strip at the top and at the bottom. I need to wet your hands some more. You don't want a thick layer of rice because you will not be able to roll it once you have other ingredients in there if it's too thick. Spreading out that rice. Okay. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Just leaving that little gap at the top and the bottom so you can seal it at the end. I have my daughter's favourite fillings here, which is tuna and avocado. The tuna has a little bit of of mayonnaise mixed through it. And you don't want too much filling because it will make it very difficult to roll. So I've got my little line of tuna there. Going to put my avocado on. It's okay if it sticks out the end because you're just going to trim it off anyway. Okay, so I'm going to get my mat and hold on to that little strip down the bottom, roll it over, and it's kind of a little bit of a, you got to fiddle with it to make sure everything gets covered on the other side. Try to turn this around. So the nori is now covering all that avocado, and you're going to use the mat to pull back on the nori paper and tighten all of that roll and that rice. So now it's being pulled back. You roll it again. So pull back again a little bit, doesn't need so much a second time. And then you can just finish it by rolling it over. Okay. And there is your one finished nori roll. That is the trickiest part of it, really. Once you have practiced that, go closer, that way. Okay. Once you've practiced it and done it as much as I have, it just becomes second nature. It's really not a tricky or hard thing. It's just a little bit fiddly, just like any new skill. And I might just roll one more to show you in a minute. Okay, so I've just set up one more just to show you the rolling part one more time. So folding it over and making sure that the nori is covering all of your fillings, or else you'll have a big mess when you pull it back. Okay, making your nice round log shape, pulling back firmly but gently until it's nice and tight. Then roll again. Hold on to this part here when you pull it back so it doesn't slide back on you. Pulling, pulling, gently, evenly, and rolling over to finish. And there is your nori. So I hope you have enjoyed my sushi tutorial and that it's helpful and that you can all make lovely sushi tomorrow. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.